Happy Labor Day, everybody. Welcome to the Proving Grounds. Now, we're going to continue with our PowerShell series, since this is what I'm basically working on and experimenting with. One of the first things we're going to do, since I already had PowerShell already set up here, I'm just going to right click here and go to Properties. And I'm going to go to Font. And I'm going to increase it a little bit, just so that way it's a little bit easier for you guys to read. Let's swing it to 20 and see how that looks. Okay, that looks pretty clear. And one of the first things I'm going to just experiment with here is just messing with the get command. If you've ever just done this, you're going to see that wall of text. Here goes. Ready? Watch for it. Wow! A lot of commandlets, servlets, a whole bunch of stuff. We can backtrack here and we can see a whole bunch of stuff here that we could mess around with. I'm not going to dive into every single one of these. At least that's not my intent. We got functions, we have commandlets, we have aliases. We'll cover those topics eventually. Now that we did all that, let's clear the screen a little bit. And let's just fine tune a little bit. Let's say we wanted to just see a specific process. We could just do a get command, and then let's say we want to show the event log. Let's see, I believe you need capitals here. And we'll just hit enter, and there it is. Now, this just gives us a breakdown of the process, showing us its command type, what it's called, what version, and its source is within PowerShell. But if we just wanted to see what that event log looks like, this in its own right is a command. So wait for it, wait for it, it's coming. Sometime this year. And there it is. Got your event viewer, and there's the application servers log. You can run through filters and break it down, see what it is you want to see. Okay, we're going to close this out right now. And we could also look up command processes, which is another way of putting it. We could just put this here. I'm just going to copy and paste it. And it gives us a quick breakdown. Functions, commandlets, and application that are actually going on at the moment. All useful to know. And what else? There are a bunch of other different get commands out there. There is get date, which I think we all know what that is. And we can also get the time zone. If we're remoted into a different computer and we're not exactly sure where we are, this will give us a geographical idea as to at least what part of the world we're in and what time zone they're in. Normally, it's like if you're within a company-wide intranet, you will probably already know where it's at, but just in case that computer was moved from one site to another, this will give you an idea as to what to set it to and what it's already currently set at. There's also the Set-TimeZone. I'm not about to mess with that right now because it's my own computer and I really don't want to make changes on that. But then we also have Get Host, which I might have used in an earlier video, but gives you the console host version and all that stuff. But we can move on from there, and we can let's see, bring up something else. Let me close this out. I like using Notepad, so I'm not going to kill that off, but I can open up WordPad, which I don't use that often, for demonstration of another feature here that you can use with a get command. Now we have that there. We can do a stop process. So instead of getting, we're stopping a process. Hyphen. Space dash name of the application. And then in quotes, close those quotes, WordPad. We already have WordPad here. And if I hit enter, it's gone. Easy. You could have a lot of fun just messing with your friends, doing a quick, just remoting in and just closing stuff up on them. But of course, some people take that as, how should I say, they don't take too kindly to having the applications closed on them. So I would not recommend it unless you're playing around with a friend on a closed network and it's already understood you guys are going to be going at each other for practice and for jokes. Now, there's also other get commands. You have get date. And where am I? Where am I? You know what? I'll just write it here. Get date. And put that in there. And it gives you the date, today's date. Now, you could get a little bit more interesting with this. And let's just copy and paste. Next line. Pipe it, space, pipe, and get a format list. And pretty much you're just running two commands in tandem here to get a result. So you could just do format list by itself, but it may not give you the result you want. Here, together, you got this, but now you have the date, the time. You know what day it is. Of course, you have all that. Day of the year is the 247th day. It's the 9th hour. You get the general idea of how this is working. Local is broken down to milliseconds, minutes, months. You know, it's more detailed than what most of us would like. Now, this is another one that I find that's interesting. It's get random. I mean, if you need to randomize a number, you can do that. I don't have an official use for it, but I thought it was cool. So I'm going to pop it in there. So as you can see, we got this number here. Now if I actually do it again, different number, different number. It's pretty cool. Now, to recap, we've covered the get date format list, get random. We've also done the get date, get time zone. We mentioned set time zone because we haven't really done anything with that because I don't want to. What else? We opened up WordPad and we stopped it in PowerShell using the stop process, WordPad. What else? We did a get host, and there's one other thing I would like to cover. Oh yeah, we also covered the get command and also getting processes. So, and the process that we pulled up was the event viewer, but just state the process here, and it should be able to bring it up for you. But I do have one more that I want to actually experiment with here, and this is Test-NetConnection. This is more for those of us that have to work with networks from time to time, or as an everyday. I don't, but that's not because I don't want to. It's just not my day job. Net connection, and you put the computer name. I just put computer name. I've not really experimented too much as to like with the names of individual computers to see what would happen. But anyway, let's say we do www.google.com because everybody likes using Google for their examples. Think of it as establishing a baseline. This is like ping on steroids. And then you're waiting for the reply, and there it is. You got the remote address, which is an IPv6, and you have your source address, also that territory, and it's a 6 millisecond reply. Now, we could also do this with a couple of other sites. I like to experiment, so let's change that to CISA.gov. So in case you don't know .gov, in case you don't know who they are, that's a cybersecurity infrastructure agency, I believe. Cyber infrastructure security agency. And that was a fast response. It says 6 milliseconds, but come on. And they're still using IPv4 for a remote address. Interesting to know. Also, you have, we can experiment with a few others. CNN.com. And let's see. Let's mess with Apple. Whoa, I had a little pop up there, but there it is. 7 millisecond lag. And who else? Who else can we mess with? How about cyber security news.com? Hopefully I spelled it correctly. 3 milliseconds. That tells you what's up. So in short, this Test-NetConnection command is ping on steroids. Pretty fast. It's nice to know. And with that, I am going to leave you guys alone. Happy Labor Day.